Ta-da! We made it. And I just noticed when I have Twitter up, Lee's screen fits perfectly in there. So that's a good omen. I'm going with good omen. And Lee said,
Yeah, no, you jinxed us.
it's heating up by you outside. It's cooling off a little here, so I was glad with that.
No, we've got our second heat wave coming in.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, but literally, I got in, I ran upstairs and jumped in the shower.
Oh,
and
good.
yeah, I've come fresh. I'm still wet.
See, yeah,
Wet with excitement.
respect the audience. Yeah, I even put a shirt on. I had no shirt. I never show myself, but I feel weird if I didn't have a shirt on when I was streaming, dude. So I'm always like, all right, don't put a shirt on for whatever reason. I wanted to.
But I turn up with a tie next time.
Yeah, I should spiff it up, man. I should be like, I'm wearing a suit right now. Respect the audience, and the audience will respect you. The of course, there's always some great pictures in here. Blast from the past. What as I was thinking, I'm like, I call this a fancy tickler because he knows how to tickle my fancy when he sets up camera photography. And this one was really cool because the ghosts in the background have like a slight blur so that you could already like play with it. So it was kind of like kind of genius setup on that one. Oh, and this one too. Look at that thing.
It is all working out just fine.
Do you know what kind of dreadnought this is?
Now, I'm surprised.
Leviathan.
Yeah, that's a Leviathan. That's big levy.
Are those multi-meltas at the stomach? What are those? Do you know?
No, that is a graviton imploder.
Oh, I don't know about graviton
So
imploders.
it's like a really heavy-duty graviton. Imagine you're wearing the heaviest Space Marine armor, Terminator plate. When you get shot by one of them, you've got to pass a strength test.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're basically like crushed
inside. Okay, I get it now.
And then it's got these little pincer claws there.
Yeah, this was a great angle.
There are more dangerous weapons, but yeah, no.
Yeah,
that is because that is now the new plastic kit as well. They've just brought out. So this is a resin one because the grav imploder isn't in plastic as far as I'm.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that thing is sweet.
Definitely
That'd make it good. Yeah, I was almost gonna do that. He took the upshot too. I'm like, all right. To see this one, and I keep thinking about this one. What's funny now is, so now when I pick these, one of the things I try to think about is how I'm going to make a little motion capture video or how I'm going to put it on YouTube or whatever. You know what I mean? So then some of the program stuff I use, there's like different effects and whatever. So some of the effects now I know, and I'm like, oh, if this like there's fall leaves in the one, and I don't even know if they would come out okay, but I keep going over in my mind how I would put the fall leaves because it's got leaves in this and I love it. I'm like, oh, dude, if I could get the leaves to go by in the video and mesh with this, it might be really cool.
In the past that had like autumn leaves on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it was a submission one, but you did do a rather nice sort of. It was also like the dryad, I think it was the wood elf.
There was
dryad bark.
Yeah. Sometimes I manage to pull them off. I love the idea of like trees and everything in the paintovers, but there's always this fine line of sometimes it's trying not to make it too busy because I tend to want to like throw trees in, and then you got like it gets like a little like more confusing than just the image and stuff. So there's like a whole edit process, and I try to do some of them because those are the ones that are like difficult to do like on that timeline, but it's still good practice to try to like, hey, can I get it in there and make it look cool?
Oh, absolutely. You know, there's so much you can put into things, and sometimes, as you say, like you could do. You know, one thing is the composition of the photograph where a person like Black Wolf has done the pose there, but that's what obviously tickles your pickle when you see a good pose.
I know. I love the orc at the bottom.
Imagine more from it, and then you go about and do your magic and make it grander.
And by the way, oh my gosh, what picture did you post that I absolutely freaking love, you madman, with the Mechanicus at the feet and that huge Titan looking thing? What was that, dude? I didn't
That
grab
was
it here.
that's the Porphyrion. So I've actually
We're gonna do something really
I
cool with
was
that,
actually
dude. We're gonna do something really cool with that. I got a couple good ideas on that. So just so you know, side note.
okay.
Because yeah, that thing I was just like, oh
Wow,
man, I oh go, what were you gonna say?
it's as if I know how you want it.
You do. That's a fancy tickler as well, dude. You know how to tickle my fancy. You probably didn't even want to know how to tickle my fancy, but you know how, dude.
Just did.
Yep.
Hey. Oh yeah, Lee Sweet
Yeah,
Tinkler's
Alex is one of the
soggy
ones I
chips.
picked. This one was really cool. I in reason being, I figured I could make that Eye of Horus shine a little bit more. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I can see it's kind of like,
It needs sparkle. It needs
yeah.
sparkle.
God, I'm so simple.
Any opportunity to get some. Oh, hello.
This one too, man. I stared at this and this this is like it reminds me of like Dungeons and Dragon like book covers. You know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh gosh, like there's some really cool stuff I could do with this." And the color scheme on this was already brilliant. And this was
Mm.
like so close to getting picked in there because there's just such great elements to getting. And I was like, yeah, this one is because usually I'm literally trying to pick ones that I can like, hey, I can get it done and I know how I would use the effects and everything. This one was a cool
That
effect.
kit bash. They've used the Keeper of Secrets
Oh,
model.
that's right, with the head
So
of
an
the
actually
other
Keeper of
one.
Secrets. The head is from the the
Yeah, yeah,
Mountain Elves.
mm-hmm.
I not or whatever they are. The big faction in AOS with
Yeah, I
the two
remember because
big ball things. I swear.
I bought someone one for the Christmas gift exchange.
But
I
yeah,
can't
that's
remember the
pretty
name,
sweet.
but if you happen to watch this, Sonora, and you submit this again, I'll remember this. That's a cool, really cool model. And Fred, if I like the 2D style, the other day I thought of, I'm like, oh man, it would be cool to paint a bunch of miniatures and paint them black and white to try to make almost like sort of bland jitsu, but all black and white to try to make them into a battle board and stuff. Oh, hey everybody! I'm all babbling, and
It's
people are
basically
saying hello in here. I'm not even.
Borderlands.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so like Alex has pointed out, it's Lumineth was what I was trying to get to.
Ah, okay.
Judge
Thank you.
Judge has swooped in because Judge regularly comes onto my hobby streams. And
Hey,
the
Judge,
rule
thanks for
is,
making it.
if you're first in the chat, that doesn't mean anything. You have to claim first, and obviously,
Why is this?
so yeah, so he's in there now, and he's hunted to be down like a good Audax would do.
Oh, I gotta get
Hey,
this.
everybody, greetings and salutations.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Just looking over some of these. Harry always has nice work. And then I do, it's a weird mix. They do it just right. Like even this one, that little bit of extra shadow on the models, it really helps when you do these, and I always kind of enjoy this. AJ always has really nice stuff. This one, I the oh man, I wanted to do it, and I can kind of half visualize how the land would go. The only thing I would want to do is I was like, well, I would want to cut the back ones out a little more and fade them a bit to push them forward. I'm like, I don't know if I could pull that off on time, but the colors and everything, I'm like, oh man, I could make nice glowing wings and have all that stuff. So this is an awesome photo. I can't. I'm stuck with the Rambo. This is another close one. I was like, oh, it, I try to, it's funny, the more I do these, the more I'm like, I try to paint them over in my mind, like as I look at them, like, hey, does it come out fast? And I almost have the leaves behind this one and like kind of the night Rambo scene that might work, but that is a really cool one. Andy, the battle mech stuff, I gotta do some for Mechanical Frog because he has them in, and I almost did this one, but I chose the Blood Angels, and I'll show you why when I do them because it's this guy with the las gun, and I have this image of him like after the battle and someone's wounded and they're like kind of struggling to their feet and he just casually is walking by and just like, bing, like shoots him with the plasma, dude. He like doesn't even look at him, just like
Yeah.
finishes off this dude. And I tried drawing the silhouette in there and how I would do it, and it was like taking too much time. I never.
It's the nonchalant, just shot to the
Yeah,
face with a
the
plasma gun.
nonchalant just like finish some dude as he's trying to get up. I don't know if I ever saw this model on the chair. I think I know it's a classic, I think, or is it like a
It's
redo?
Space Hulk. It's a Space
Yeah.
Hulk.
Wow, I don't know
Dude.
how I didn't or don't remember. I remember this librarian.
Well, that's um, they're obviously from the 2009 reissue
Yeah.
of Space Hulk, which was reissued again about 3 years later. But yeah, those models were pretty rad. Like the dude in the top right who was ripping up the floor was one of my favourite ones.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. That is a
it
cool
was just
one.
like
Like get
actually
some.
I painted mine up as the Knight of Blood because that was my sort of
Yeah, and
blood angels.
I
If I
don't
was
even
going
think I seen that
to
one
Knights of Blood,
before grabbing the floor, so I missed him too. This was a great model. I forget he did reply with the company. Yeah, this one I was thinking about picking a little. So I enjoy when or it can help a paint over when the light of the light that's shining on the model highlights to almost white in some areas. This was a bit much on the blade, even though I might be able to make it work. I probably could make this work because he would be glowing. But man, that is a really sharp
you got
model,
to have the
something
glow in
different too.
there, and obviously it looks like
See,
he's
that's
beating
what I think
on
it
the
would totally
anvil,
work.
isn't he?
Yeah, it's like a glowing anvil,
Yeah,
so I
and
think that light shining would just add to it. So I think if it was something where it wasn't supposed to be totally glowing, it would might be like hamper it. But I think because it is supposed to be like glowing, it would just add to it. So I could probably do a wicked glow on that. This one
yeah.
was really
Well, you
cool
could also
too.
get sparkles.
Oh yeah, I know. The hammer
Chrissy's
and it,
painting.
and I have
Um,
more effects that do like the sparks and stuff. Yeah, Chrissy's always making cool stuff.
I was just saying with Chrissy's painting, her painting. Since I sort of met, I've sort of known her for like 2 years since I returned to Twitter,
Okay, really?
and we're
Okay.
sort of like we're friends in real life as well.
Hmm.
That sort of thing. I've met her recently when I went to Warhammer World with some others. I mean, it was the Crystal McDowell. It was
Okay.
a hobby
Oh yeah,
meetup
yeah.
of people, and her painting has just come on. Like this year alone, has just come on exponentially. It's just
Yeah.
the detail on it. I love this. Thousand Suns sorcerer
And that's it
that
has a
she's done
lot
there. It's like
the lighting with the crystals and the light on the eye, like a lot of little details like you said. Even at the bottom of his like his ankle, there's a little like the little eyes and it's all lit up with the magic and this you could really make some cool like
think of the
energized glow
glowing
with it.
possibilities you had.
I know.
So
I
much
know
glow.
this, and oh, this is another thing about this one is that it also includes some of the shadow from. It's actually lit really right because I could make the emblem on the staff lighting it from up above, and that's kind of where the light comes from. So it's pretty much perfect on that account too.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another one. This one was really cool, man. I stared at it a while, and I still might end up doing it. So I'll have to get their name, but I absolutely love this. I don't know what it is about it. It's kind of like a gritty style to it, and it's like the pose, and he has the glow, and just that the little bit of the darker on his right arm and everything. And I could, one side would be kind of glowing green, the other side would be glowing blue, and he's got all this like intrigue. And this one was just I love this damn mini.
Yeah, you can definitely light that up from there anyway, can you? Something that
Yeah, yeah,
OSL he's
easily.
got
It's
there.
like everything is
Yes,
right there and done
chips.
right. Yeah. Soggy chips.
Yes.
I chose this
Soggy Chip's
one.
another person that I know has met in real life and know actually exists.
Yeah, I chose this one, so that'll be
White
covered.
scars.
Ricky always does awesome stuff. Ricky's
Uh,
always making. Yeah. And
was
this one,
it Ricky who
this
done
one,
those ones earlier on as well?
Yeah, he did a few of these. He's been turning out stuff, and I chose one of his last week that had a similar scheme to this that was really cool. These have that nice glow to it. And this one, I didn't know how I could approach this one. This is an awesome model. I love the fist on the hammer. And I was like, oh, and Kit Bash, if you happen to watch this and you do it again, submit this one again, like this picture, because I got an idea for it now that I think I could pull off. That thing is so cool. I'm a sucker for shields too.
for the helmet and on the spikes as well. So what's not to
Yeah,
love?
that's the classics. All right, let me switch over here. And oh wait, we got this. Ta-da! So this is going to be Soggy's. There we go. New command, new comments. Yeah, the iron wire with the Imperial Fist one. Yeah,
Lightning rod.
yeah, man. I was like, okay, I wanted to do. I pulled off a light. I'm like, okay, I think this lightning works for it. And I was like, how do I get the? He had great shadow for the photo behind the cape, and then I was just like, well, let me try to match the shadow behind the cape behind him to keep that kind of depth and everything. And I think it was working out great. So I got to play with the ground a bit more. And then I got to do like his blue sight. I'll have that glowing a bit and add some stuff. But this thing was so dope. And I assume it's white scars, or is it's a white scars, isn't it? I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, it has to be.
So it's a storm seer. So for added glowiness, a lot of like the psychers' eyes do tend to glow up as well when
Okay.
they're in, like doing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the old like the magnetic, glow them up just to say like the Emperor's fury is within him
Yeah. All right. Good
as he's
call.
about to unleash a force 9 growl upon somebody.
No, I will on that because I was like, okay, I can put a few more sparks without getting crazy, and I can have the nice blue glow on there, and it was just such a the energy. I think I got the way the lightning is coming
Go
down. It
elemental,
works. What was
go
that?
elemental, because that's the whole thing. Go
Okay,
elemental with them because they basically their psychic powers are basically edged with
the elements.
to yeah, like as I said, Storm said they are so badass in the siege books and the books prior. Their Storm Seer just go in and like they just seem so much more badass because they control like they're throwing cyclones at you, sort pretty much sort of thing,
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
you up into the air, and sort of just using the elements just to fuck you up and call
Yeah,
lightning on.
this one will be fun to like. It shouldn't be long to finish it up. I want to push a little more of the. I just keep it's funny when I just do these and all it is to me is like it's just like exercise on like depth, like trying to force depth and match lighting. And it's funny how long I've been doing it now and I'm learning, but it seemed this one was cool. This was that other one. And I wanted to I didn't know what it's like this weird vibe to it because he's kind of like all alone, just like holding this huge thing. And I was like, well, I could have put sort of figures in the background, and I'm like, no, I just dug it. Something about it. I'm like, he's pulling the chute, but he's not like in serious combat, or I don't know what. I just kind of dug it. So I just kind of get the nice dusty effect with the glowing, thing, and just leave it kind of like cryptic or whatever.
Oh, I like that glow. So again, it's the glow, the glow of Horus.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, I can do it like a Horus
He's
thing,
like
like a.
he's Malagor's the Twisted is the equerry to or
Mm-hmm.
to Horus Lupercal. So having that symbol sort of like giving off some sort of radiance
Yeah,
to say like, yes, I'm here for my
yeah,
master and you will obey
yeah. Because it would be
because I
glowing,
am
so
his voice.
that's why I asked for some of the descriptions too, because they put that in there and it really does help me. And it also helps obviously when I go to put a description down for something. And then here was the Blood Angels. This was really cool. I tried out the firing. I was like, and I was gonna do like a little silhouetted dude. You know what I mean? Like he just like was struggling to get back up, and he's just like, for some reason it just cracked me. I was like, because he's
You're gonna put
not
someone
even
like some
looking.
legs and
Yeah.
arms like that, going
Yeah, that exactly, dude. That's exactly what I wanted. Like he just totally like annihilates the top half. And I sketched it in there, but I like sketched it in a black silhouette and it just looked so bad. I'm like, okay, I can't do that right now. But that's really why I chose this one because I'm like, oh dude, that's what I'm like casually strolling past and like some dude's trying to like struggle to get up on the battlefield. He's like,
it's like the guy next to him is just going, dude,
yeah, yeah, and he's looking. The other
dude,
one's
he
looking.
was
They're all like
surrendering.
looking. They're like looking in the right spot too. I was like, dude, I gotta. So I want to try to pull it off maybe later with the. Well, the other one with this is I wanted to animate it, and I wanted to just start with the most simple, like real animation. I was going to animate the laser fire, because I'm like, okay, even in Procreate, you can do simple animation, and I think I could pull it off. So there's going to be a point where I start with that, just because I like it would be just so funny to see him fire, and it'll be like. Because he's not even like acknowledged, just like strolling forward and like just doesn't even glance at him and just dusts somebody.
The one on the right is going, nothing to see here.
I know it's like it's like there was all on cleanup duty, you know what I mean? And yeah, smash the like button. So if you are enjoying this, please hit the like button. Even if you're not, still hit the like button. Appreciate it. I went.
Smash it or tenderly caress it.
What have you been up to, Lee? Anything hobby wise or anything special going on?
Well, you say special. I did go away at the weekend. I went to a certain person's birthday party.
Dun dun dun.
Um, yes,
Oh, that's cool.
a guy who is known as Aaron Dibsky-Bowden, who
Oh,
likes to write
really?
books and stuff. So I was out. There's his place and Katie's place, and there was a big gathering of people to celebrate birthdays and stuff, and
Very
it
cool.
was really nice. I hard obviously there's so many people there, so you can't really
Yeah.
you know chat much stuff, but was sitting there drinking and making jokes and
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, not a lot of hobby was discussed. It was just generally catching up because
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
a
of the people there
birthday.
I know to yeah. So it was a very enjoyable weekend,
I didn't know.
and didn't know what
Oh, no. Keep going.
Malagorst was in. Yeah, so so I was out there from Friday, and I flew back Sunday. Lovely little
Oh, so you were gone
place
for a
he's
few
got.
days then.
Yeah. Well, some people stayed longer, and I was invited to stay longer by his wife Katie because we had a thing together because we both love The Expanse and
Yeah.
the Amos character in particular, and that's our thing. So we're always like and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so we yeah, just say like she said like, oh, we don't go away on holiday for a few weeks, so you can stay up until then if you want. I said I would love to, but I can't. Work commitments and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it was
Reality.
really nice. So much fun. Lots of booze, lots of food, and yeah, it was great. And to top it all off as well, he had 3 birthday cakes that I think his
Oh.
mother-in-law made for him and stuff, or even Katie. And one of them was Empress Spears' birthday cake,
Oh,
and
really?
they actually used 2 of the models painted for him
Uh,
because I painted some Empress Spears once, and I sent them to him as a birthday present, sort of thing. And they actually stuck it on the birthday cake, like done a little diorama. It was a cake diorama,
yeah. Okay, of
fighting that
course.
chaos. yeah, it was just like I had no ideas. It wasn't until Kate's going, Lee, come over here, come over here. I'm like, what? And I saw that. I went, oh my god, how
You
awesome!
made it on
That
the
was really,
cake. Your artwork is on the cake.
yeah, you can't say fairer than that. So yeah, it was a
Yeah.
great weekend, and yeah. So apart from that, I've done bugger all hobby.
Well, that almost counts as hobby, man. We're generous over here with what we call hobby.
Mm. That is looking. You know what? That sort of reminds me of Losing My Religion, the video.
Oh my
That's
gosh, I
even the
haven't. Oh my gosh, wait. I'm just sort of remembering a little bit. It's been so long, dude.
That's me with the
Yeah,
icon
yeah, yeah.
representing Horus, trying to kill the loyalist scum. Yes.
Oh
Today I
man,
learned the 40k rule of free applies to cakes. Yes.
the rule of three applies to
Yes.
cakes. Who said that? Oh, soggy.
Yeah, whiskey. We were shotting a few of us like early hours of Saturday morning, Sunday morning. No, yeah, yeah, Sunday morning. Yeah, there was 6 of us. We were shotting, filling up shot glasses full of this whiskey called Blood Oath, and we made a blood oath amongst the people there.
That's always
And
good. A little blood
I
oath
can't
while
remember what the
drinking.
blood oath is. It must have been important for us to drink it and shot it. And yeah, and I can only remember about 3 other people. There was 6 of us there, but I can only remember 3 or 4 of us. So yeah, it was fun. It was a great time. It
Well,
was
making blood oaths while
well
drinking.
worth.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are
And
you
took loads
streaming
of
later?
photographs of the surrounding countryside.
Oh, you did get photos of
Yeah,
the
that's planning
countryside?
to. Again, I've got. I wandered off. I don't hang around. If I get the urge to go, you know, transient across the countryside, I will do, and I did. I went walking into the town. There is like old old stone bridge over the stream, and as I was walking back, I noticed someone had built a little set of stairs down to the riverbank. So I
Okay.
thought, there's stairs there. I've got to go down them. And I did, and I sat on the side of the bank, and I was like looking under the bridge, taking some pictures. I recorded a little bit of video of the stream, the water running past.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've gone back up the stairs, there was a guy standing there. I went, oh, hello, something. And he's going like, oh yeah, I saw you go down there. I thought I'd better come over and make sure you was all right. I went, yeah, I'm just looking at the
Causing
bridge.
trouble,
I'm not
Lee?
doing
Were you
anything dodgy.
causing trouble, dude? Is that
Yeah.
hooliganism? Is
Yeah,
a hooligans an
international
issue over
incident.
there? Yeah. Don't be
Obviously,
hooliganizing.
you don't get a lot of long-haired, bearded guys by
Yeah.
streams, apparently. So yeah, I was one of the longest-haired persons out there. Maybe not the beardiest, but the combination.
Oh, wait.
Brutish.
I'm sure you've probably seen these around, but I still did it here just to remember. So what? I don't even know what issue this is. This is, I can't even see on here. So this is when,
Yes,
whatever these.
108.
Okay, 108. Thank you. So in 108, they had. I
Uh-huh.
clipped this out for the viewers. So this was some of their banners. And I
Yes.
like. I know. So I seen any of these and like, do these all are these still all exist? I'm trying to see this real quick.
Imperial Fists, they kind of do-ish, but not as prevalent as the others there. So
Okay.
obviously you've got the Cockatrice, which is Legio Ozydax, who I have obviously painted a Legio of. Fire Wasps. Then you got death bolts. Sorry, because my screen's gone a bit blurry, so
Yeah, that's what
just
I
trying
just did. So I
to
see the death bolts, and then there's
see.
warp runners is the next one.
Yeah, yeah, Warp Runners, which is a storeroom. Then Morning Stars, which is Astroman. Nova Guard, which is Legio Defensor. Imperial Fists are the odd ones out in that respect.
Okay.
And then obviously Tiger's Eyes, which is the Legio Furians. Death's Heads, which is Mortis. Flaming Skulls, which are they've got two names. I think they became.
That's
I don't know.
crazy that you
No,
know
Flaming
all these,
Skulls.
dude. I can't believe you know all those, dude.
What? One of them were Fire Masters became Legio Infernus.
Okay.
Sort of area. Flaming Skulls. I can't remember the Flaming Skulls. I don't think Flaming Skulls, or is that it might be Legio Magna.
Huh, I'll have to look at it. I
But
can't believe you even knew
yeah,
all those. That's
the Eye of
insane.
Horus.
Yeah, he says it's Soggy says it's Magna, he thinks.
Well, out of the yeah, yeah. So Legio Magna, or not actually, it's either Magna or Fire Masters that were a successor Legio to Fire Wasps. One of them, it might be Fire Masters, which seems quite odd that they went rogue. But they were, because basically the original three Legios of the Ferrum, the Triad Ferrum Morgellus, which was the Ignatum, Mortis, and Tempestus. Each of them basically spawned other Legios. So
Okay.
basically, you had the defensive natured ones, which are like the Ignatum. You had the sort of conquering ones, be it like Mortis. Well, Mortis are like destruction sort of thing, and
Gotcha.
crusading ones, which are Tempestus, and then all other legios are based off of those templates, basically. But they don't really they mention it only a couple of times. But one connection being, as I said, the Fire Masters, I think was theirs, or it might be Magna, was like a yeah.
I
Uh,
have to they had another page in here with like I mean it was nothing big. It was literally just because you remember back then they used to always put banners on them all. So like they had the underarm banners, the one under the crotch, and then the back banner and everything. That was it one of, that's a classic cover to me. Gosh, those were the days. This
that
one?
so that's my T-shirt that I normally would wear,
Oh yeah,
and
you're
they've done
right.
the updated version with AT, where you've now got the Ignis Rex, which is the um, Warlord, but then they swapped the second Warlord for a Reaver Titan in the
Okay.
background.
Let me see, bam. All right. Yeah, that was after I was looking through it, I was realizing that's one of my all-time favorite White Dwarf magazines because it had that stuff in it on Titanicus. It had stuff on commissars. It had what else like the Realm of Chaos stuff in it. It had and that was back in the day when they'd have like their little outrider shops or what you know what I mean. It wasn't like when it was all corporate. So it was just like I was looking at it again. I'm like, wow, this is like an awesome one. That was a great issue. Now let's make this dude's eyes glow.
They can glow.
He already had them pretty glowy, and now I'm gonna overglow.
Make them sparkle.
More
Bring out that
sparkle.
sparkle.
Is anyone who's happened to be joining us? Thanks again for joining us. But is anyone doing any hobby right now? Working on any more stuff?
I reckon judges. Judges like a machine as well.
Really? Do you know what game he likes to play? Is he like a
AT.
Titanicus? Okay, okay, awesome.
Yeah, no, he does pop in regularly. He is. I can claim he's one of my regulars. I can claim that because it's true. But yeah, he's done a really good work with his Audax. He just keeps on going. I'm doing this now. He's been working on his Direwolf recently.
Oh, really? Those are cool models. I really like the Direwolf.
But yeah, it's at the moment obviously with all the Titan action, because the 2.0 heresy has been a massive distraction.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why you're watching that sort of stuff and just getting carried away with all we got the new pre-orders coming up this week of like the Sakaran and stuff, and the stuff that has already come out in the box set they're doing individually now. So like the Spartan and the Terminators. Well, the Terminators are already out anyway, but wife is painting her white scars, and I just finished my drop pod for my Leviathan Dreadnought. I'm still debating on getting a Leviathan drop pod. 80 is my current project. I have 30k and lined up.
What's the difference between what's special about a Leviathan drop pod? Does it fit like the big? Oh, so probably
big one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because you want to be dropping them in.
World Eaters and Iron Golems. What's an Iron Golem? Why don't I know that?
I don't know.
I don't know why you don't know that. I'll have to figure out what an Iron Golem is. Oh, it's not a faction. Maybe. Yeah, the color scheme is cool on this. Bling them up a little.
Do it.
A lot of polish, a lot of shine. There's a lot of people there. See, that's what all these pictures need. All the people who have to polish everything and bling bling.
Bling to bling. Oh, that gold. Go over it.
Just a little, amp it up just a little.
You could possibly do like a bit of it's gonna be hard because obviously with the red cloak, but in like the book art, like on the front covers of many a fine Black Library novel, Volkites seem to have like an reddish glow to them. So when they fire, it's like a beam that basically just turns flesh to ash, basically.
So with the Volkite is the gun he's holding?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good to know. All right, I can. You know what? I might be able to amp up a little bit of the red then.
Ooh.
Little barrel glow. See if we can. I don't know if I can pull it off, but we'll try. It's always worth trying.
Yeah, so like normally, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice red as
That's
well.
the ticket.
That's the ticket, sir.
I want more servitor. Someone said servitor skulls, soggy chips. Yeah, or servitors. I commissioned someone to do a servitor skull for me, and I gotta get more because he was carrying the AE banner and everything. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get some more servitor skull. I don't know why I like those so much. They're just little those and cherubs. I'd have a servitor skull and cherub army.
throwing cherubs at him. Take that, you
Just
bounder!
a whole, just like you just see the sun get blotted out with cherubs coming, dude. They're like, what? It's just like birds flying in the stuff.
The Ride of the Valkyries as the cherub
Yeah,
formation flying
it's
over.
like it's like the classic. Why can't I think of his name? Hitchcock with the birds where they're slamming into everything. They can't. That's like what it is. That's the attack style of my cherub army, dude. They just like all slam into everything until it's all wiped out.
They're all dead, man. They're all dead.
Yeah, because
As
like
good
that's disturbing no matter who you are. If there's little robot babies slamming themselves into you, you're gonna be like, man, I don't know about this fight. This seems a little hardcore.
uh, funny enough, mentioning babies, this morning I was woken up. I was sort of awake anyway, but you know, like when you really don't want to get out of bed,
Oh yeah.
and suddenly this baby just starts wailing, like, you know, inconsolable wailing. You know, where
Hmm.
you can imagine people going, "Oh, come on, little Tessa, come on," and it was going on for a couple of minutes, and then suddenly somebody out of their house bedroom window has just leant out and said, "Shut the fuck up!" and he quietened down. It was
Yeah, it worked.
amazing. Yeah, it was
The
just like I was not expecting that. You know, he's like, "Well, somebody attend to the baby, please." Um, but yeah, it was just like, "Oh, okay, that's addressed the issue."
the see, that would be good for the art. So imagine that. So like when all the cherubs are coming, they start like a weird, loud, mechanical baby crying sound. So that's what you hear with all these things that are coming. Just all this like weird baby crying too, dude, as they're flying at you.
Yeah,
When does wait? That just I don't know why it made me think of this. We talked about it the other week. When is the supposedly, if they even know, when is the next Dune supposed to come out?
we started filming. Um, So it's not going to be until next year. Um,
Okay, yeah.
so yeah, it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, we have to sort of hold tight because we don't want them to rush. We don't want them to
Oh
push.
no, it's better. No,
You
you
know, we
wait
want
on
it to
that
be
stuff.
right. You got as I said, the new guy who's playing Fade Ruther is the guy who plays Elvis in the new biopic type movie.
Okay,
Um, Florence Pugh is playing the wife of Count Fenring, Count Casimir Fenring, I think his name is, who was like the Kwisatz Haderach
what's that
before
cataract?
Paul. He
Okay,
was a 40 Kwisatz Haderach. He wasn't the full ticket because he's a mule. He can't reproduce. Um,
okay,
but obviously he's quite deadly um, because he has all those brain powers, and he's in the service of Shaddam the Fourth, um, as you be,
beautiful
I guess.
fade.
Beautiful fade, beautiful fade. Yes, but that's the thing. You always go back because he wasn't in the last one. You know, we know Raban. I want you to
Yeah, yeah,
squeeze June Arrakis.
yeah.
I mean, um, but yeah, yeah, hearing him say "beautiful fade," beautiful fade, it doesn't work. It doesn't have to say sort of, sinister undertones. Then,
Yeah, yeah. He did it. He was doing it good in there.
but yeah, he might do it good. But it's Stellan Skarsgård. He's brilliant in everything, because he's like in one of my favorite films, which was Good Will Hunting. That's when I first
Oh
met
yeah,
that.
he's the professor, isn't he?
Yes,
Oh, that's right. Wow, that's like just to think from that role to that one, you know.
yes. So it's yeah, he's been magnificent. Like even in the Marvel movies, where his character has been, really really well played,
Hmm.
and everything else he's ever been in. Really, he always does. He gives it his all, and that's like even with his kids as well. All the Skarsgårds, one of them plays it. Um, one of them was in what's that? Suki, the vampire things.
Oh wait, yeah. I just funny because I just saw that Last Blood, Drop Blood, Lost.
Yeah,
Oh,
that thing. Yeah, um,
yeah.
the sexy vampires, because he
There's
was a
always.
sexy vampire. He was also in Battleship as well, I believe, um, as a officer. But he's a good character. He's a good character actor. Um, and
uh
the other
True
brother,
Blood.
True Blood. Thanks, Judge. The other brother was Loki in Vikings. You know, the one that doesn't look
Oh
like a
yeah.
Skarsgård is a Skarsgård, and he is Loki, and Loki is fucking awesome
Yeah.
as a character. Ragnar.
I laughed. I was thinking the other day. I'm like, you basically like, and if you're in this hobby community a while, and you get just a moderate number of followers or whatever, it's like you have a superpower of like learning any Warhammer 40K fact. Because now I got enough followers. Where, like if I ask a question, it's like, dude, someone knows if it's a part or a piece or a snippet of lore it's like you got your own 40K supercomputer at your fingertips with this community because it like I laugh how many times it'll be like just in a chat and there'll be like 4 or 5 people. I ask some obscure random like question and someone will know it. It's like how do you even know that stuff? It's funny.
Yeah, no, it's, I'm trying to think if there's any other news really. Obviously, we know Shaddam is Christopher Walken, so
Oh
that's
wait,
what I'm interested in.
wait, who's Christopher Walken?
You know, we need more
I know.
cowbell.
He's ruined that ruined him. I always loved that man until that skit. And then I was like, no.
Uh, there was this other like scene. I can't remember what film. It might be Seven Psychos, and he's there, and like some hitman dudes have like cornered, like caught up with him, sort of thing. And he's like, he's just tired, and the guy goes, "Put your hands up." He goes, "No." He goes, "What? No, I don't want to." I can't be arsed, sort of thing. No. And the
No.
guy's confusion going, he's meant to put his hands up. But yeah, he's and that's the thing. Is like when you when they cast him, it's Christopher Walken. That's a bit, but he can
Yeah.
do some really like great sort of like it's the whole thing that go back to when you've got the Baron talking about the Emperor, that he's a very jealous man, and
Hmm.
just that line, you think, oh yeah, I can. He could be quite spiteful when he wants to be, sort of thing. But it's down there to present him though, because I think with him, they're going to have to do something to make him a bit younger. Because I know, like in the original like Lynch version, you had Jose Ferreira playing Shaddam, and Jurgen Prochnow was playing Leto. Now, apart from the lack of hair on Jose Ferreira, um, age-wise, yeah, you could only put like maybe a few years between them. But between Christopher Walken and Oscar Isaac Leto, there's a lot of years. And in the original stories, there wasn't that much age difference between Leto and Shaddam. Because that was the whole thing, is that Shaddam was envious of Leto because his dad had a fondness for Leto over Shaddam. So
Okay.
that's sort of has an effect on what happens later, sort of thing. And obviously, the whole fact that he's more popular, Ras. But yeah,
Dean
so
Stockwell is Huey.
Dr. Yui, yeah, yeah. Well, again, I think
Was
seven heads in a duffel bag.
that was the yeah.
But yeah, he's for all the things, like David Lynch is the one I grew up with and loved. And
Yeah.
as repeated to you, you must watch the Spice Divers version of
I'm
Dune.
going to.
You keep on
It's what's
saying
funny is actually remember it because I'm like I will when the time is right. That's the one I want to watch.
because that is to me now. I can't watch the original Dune now because of that, the
Really?
existence of that, because where they've interwoven, pardon me, the deleted scenes, and it's in like HD as well. So
Yeah.
it's not like they've just gone band aid scene, band aid back to film. It seems fairly flawless. It flows through
Yeah.
and they've edited it as well. So there's certain bits may have been taken out, as well as stuff put in.
Yeah.
But the
So they
stuff,
put the real effort in to edit it like it would be for a movie. Yeah.
yeah, and it works better as a movie because of that. So it adds a lot more, you
It's a
know,
remix.
yeah, context to the actual whole thing. So yeah, definitely for all those viewing, if you are a Dune fan, go on to YouTube and find after watching this, or obviously watching me later on.
And then your show, yeah. You're not
Yeah,
allowed for a
Spice
few hours.
Spice Divers Dune, and you will not regret it because it is the it's quintessential Dune movie of the Lynch era. But I really like the new one. The new one just works on a different
It did.
level.
I'm always skeptical, and I'm so down on reboots or whatever, a lot of that stuff. And my only, the one thing that I was really kind of worried about is, and it was just a taste thing, the visuals. Okay, so the design language was stunning, right? So like all the scenes to me like were individual, like the composition, everything was brilliant, right? So I'm not like saying like, oh, but for me, I was worried that the armies and the soldiers and everything almost all look the same. And so I was kind of like, okay, one of the creativity things of like Dune is like, or like any big vast thing is like, okay, you can make things look wildly different. And I was probably biased for what was it, Jordowski's Dune, when he had Mobius do all the crazy sketches. I was like, oh my god, this is what, this is the kind of thing. So but all that being said, I really thought that wasn't like an issue for me. You know what I mean? Because I was kind of like, oh god, is it going to be too much samey? Even though it all looks really cool, and it didn't bother me, and I really the movie visually was just stunning.
I don't, it's just when you've gone close up with that, you can just see the pure fuck you in his eyes.
Yeah, when he would always walk by, bing, just it's
Fuck
like so
you.
perfect, dude. And
Yeah.
I love this guy. He's looking like, oh, dude, that guy doesn't even have a.
Dude, you melted his face. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
dude. It's just like, yeah, buddy. And so I
I did
was like,
actually, because somebody did leak the storybook of what Mobius and
yeah,
Dali or whatever had drawn, or was it Picasso? I can't remember. It was one
there
of
was
them
a
two.
few of them. There's a lot of
Yeah,
people who worked on it.
but
There was a
like
real
the
famous.
story, play by play, um, it was interesting to read, like each little thing sort of thing, and it was very like flamboyant. It was larger than life, and if I don't know how it would have played out if they did manage to get, because the people they had involved in that, it was like Jagger was in,
Yeah,
and Pink
yeah, it
Floyd.
did everybody, dude.
That's why when they done the first trailers of June, you had Pink Floyd's Equinox playing, because they were involved in Jodorowsky's Dune. So there's all these little like callbacks to all that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay.
But it's all the little bits in there. I think like Orson Welles was in there as well, I was saying, it was bonkers the amount of people they had there.
Yeah,
But when you watch the documentary of Jodorowsky's Dune, they're just going around meeting people, getting off their tits on drugs, and like,
yeah.
yeah, it's a great idea after like
We can
several.
do it. Like, let's get
Yeah.
more and bigger. Yeah.
And Geiger as well. With Geiger's involvement, that helped to make Alien and Aliens, the
Oh,
aesthetics
yeah.
of thing, you know. So
Yeah, no, there was a lot of stuff in there. That's why I'm a huge, like, I forget his name, Jean, whoever the artist name they call him Mobius. Like, yeah, I'm a super Mobius fanboy. He's one of my all time favorites. And then for him to be doing that stuff, I was like, oh gosh, like I knew what you could it would look like. It would be the most fantastical craziness thing that was ever. And I think they made a couple of the physical books of that thing, and I'm like, that would be one of the coolest, like, artistic holy grails to really flip through one of those art books with. I forget, I watched that documentary, and they had the one of that, and I used to love his stuff too as a kid. The guy who made all those like rocket ship art and everything was just amazing. I was like, gosh, that would be so cool.
yeah, no, you say it's just like from all the creativeness that was pulled into that thing, it was like it would have been a tour de force, you know, like from the music to everything
Hmm.
that was involved in that. And if I don't know if that had came out, Lynch's one wouldn't have existed, and
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that would have affected because I can't see because it's almost like Barbarella in a way. Like Barbarella is, you know, Jane Fonda as intergalactic planetary Barbarella
Yeah.
uh, doing her thing. I've watched it once or twice, and that's enough for me. Like, I've seen it.
Yeah.
There's like strange stuff going on, and that would have been the aesthetic I feel that would have had. So I may have watched it once. I doubt I would have watched it again. You know.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, it's just one of those things where kind of glad it didn't get made.
Well, yeah.
I think it would have done.
Because it was too, it almost seems like it fell to what it was. It was too grandiose. You know what I mean? You just had too much going on and too much, like, it's a bunch of high on artists running around.
Yeah, but also he changes the story as well. The story is
Yeah.
different from the book, so he doesn't follow
Yeah.
necessarily the book as such. So that is quite a big um, difference. So he's making a film, utilizing the characters in there, but then he's giving it his own look at it.
Spin. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're doing like something like that, it's um, you couldn't follow it on because then you have to change everything else that happens later on.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens in June has repercussions in Messiah and um, Children of June.
Yeah. You can't just go willy nilly messing around with lore, yo.
No, it's it's things like it's I say going back like with Villeneuve's June is going to like the thing that I had the only issue I had like I haven't got a problem with like changing characters like ethnicity or sexuality or gender or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, but Leah Keynes, the planetologist, because I always saw that like again going back to Lynch's version and the book even Leah Keynes being Charney's father, who dies after the fall of Arakeen and the destruction of House Atreides, at the same point of when Paul's father is killed during the fall of Arakeen and the destruction of House Atreides. And I take that as something that bonds them together because obviously he's got the dreams. He knows he wants to be with her, and that's his chosen one, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Charlie, but she's just met him. She don't know anything about him or anything like that. But that shared mutual bond because both their fathers have died, sort of thing, would have like had something to help them, sort of, if you know what I mean. You know, it's just that little
Yeah.
like thing together. Although saying that, like, what's her face, Duncan Brewster. I really liked her as Liet Kynes. I thought she'd done a great job, like how he went along, sort of thing. Obviously, she's no Max von Sydow, but she done a great job in a new version. And it's like I'm happy with her, but it was just that little niggly thing to me that they changed the character. I think there might have been other characters like well, they can't really. Yeah, it's a bit
It
hard.
probably all, you know what, if I have to think about it, it probably would all bother me, but only in a sense that, and I don't know if that one would bother me, but like with Marvel movies, it would bother me if I was, I don't know what fan of like, oh, if Thor would be an example. Like if
Yeah,
they would have done a different Thor other than the one that got really popular back in the day. You know what I mean? If they would start with like a different one, or like if they did it with like, the characters, it's like if I'm a fan of, I don't know who it could be, I don't even get like Spider-Man or whatever one, at least tell that traditional story for the fans from back in the day. You know what I mean? Tell it first and then go, expand the universe and change or do whatever you want to do. But that's my only thing. I'm like, it's like if I had some Primark who I was really geeked to see, and then they made major changes, I'm like, come on, dude. I'm like, let me have let me have my one Primark that I really love, and then do whatever or something. But for most part, if it depends what it is. Like if they, if it's something that's old, I'm really attached to it. Then I like to see the first ones. But most other things, I
well,
don't
that's the thing.
care.
Is like with the other thing, like the main one with like uh, Battlestar Galactica with Starbuck when they changed gender
See,
flipped
and
Starbuck.
that didn't bother me at all.
No,
And maybe because I
no.
wasn't attached to those guys in the same way. You know what I mean? So I don't, I think it's probably just personal bias. If I was like really into the character, because like Starbuck, I like, and then plus her as an actress, I think she did brilliant in it anyway. But that's besides the point. But yeah, that didn't. It's funny that you mentioned that because I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah, no. It's the say like when it's like Starbucks played by a woman. Oh my god! But there was so much sort of like again like it's change. Some people don't like change, but
Hmm.
they done it and it worked. Katie Sackhoff really like made Starbuck her own
Yeah,
because
for
she was
sure.
still the cigar chomping, pyramid
Yeah,
playing,
no, she was
whiskey
one of the best
swilling
ones.
fighter.
Yeah, it was great, her character in there. And I think too,
It was nice. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I don't mind that, I guess, in a way, probably because the original was a series anyway, so it's kind of like if it's done in the medium, then I don't mind a change because it's already been done, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like if Mr. Fantastic was never told in movie form, I would probably want the original Mr. Fantastic. You know what I mean? I think, but it's like if you were remaking a movie that you already did, like something like Dune, I'm more forgiving of changes because I'm kind of like, well, it already was a movie. You know what I mean? You have the old version, so if you want to make some changes, it works for me.
Yeah.
Even though,
No. And also there's time between versions. Like it was like 30 odd years
yeah,
between everything. So it's a new generation, and I think like with the acting talent they got signed up initially, I just thought, whoa, wait a sec, hold on a second, and Denis Villeneuve or Villeneuve, I've seen a couple of his films beforehand as well, and I knew what he was
hmm
about, and so that sort of again, that's what got all the excitement for all these other people to get involved with. But yeah,
yeah,
I always remember when I heard about Jason Momoa being Duncan Idaho, and I thought, hold on a sec, because Duncan was one of my favourite characters from the original Lynch one. That loyal soldier sort of thing. But I even went up because I thought, hold on a second, and I went on to the like Wikipedia, Doom wiki sort of thing, and read the description of Duncan Idaho, and he's a dark-haired, you know, olive skin sort of, like, he's a
gotcha.
tall, dark, handsome man. Whereas Richard Jordan, who played it in the original film,
Oh, it
was
wasn't anything
much
like that.
older,
Yeah.
uh, much older looking, blonde haired sort of thing. Um, and I thought, all right, well, so okay, they're going that route. But I just really loved Duncan Idaho in this was just brilliant.
Hmm.
I really, and Momoa really did, bring his A game in that. He's no, yeah, the little bit of like comedy sort of
No,
associated
they. I
with
thought
him,
they
sort of
did.
like
I
that
thought
little
all the
rice.
actors. I thought all the actors did really well, and I think we talked about it for that. I call him kid, but whatever, the Clementi or whatever. I forget what the actor's name is. I remember seeing him in that one, and I was like, oh, dude, I dig that kid. I hope he gets more, cool roles and everything, because I'm excited to see what he does, especially after that one, whatever, King Richard or whatever he was.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I,
Four
I,
horns.
I watched that film, the King. Yeah, I watched that film, and once I watched it, I thought, oh yeah, I can see why, because he has that youth youthful appearance, but he
Hmm.
has that sort of world weary, aged,
He
like
does. That's
inner
the good
core
mix.
sort of thing.
Yeah, he's got weight to him, even though
Uh,
it's a good mix. He's young, but his face expresses weight or whatever. Even just how he walks and stuff.
yeah. Well, the bit that got me was when he's being tested, um, and it's not like the old one when he goes, "Oh, the pain," and all that sort of thing. It's just basically he just stops and he just
Yeah,
looks at her, and you know, a look can just transcend any amount of words you want to
for
write.
sure.
Uh, and yeah, so it's
I was gonna.
yeah, it's definitely something.
I was wondering about this. Alex said the new Prey film is really good. I didn't see it yet, and so I'm
Yeah,
gonna end up
I've
probably
watched it.
watching that this week. I heard decent things, and I saw so I shouldn't have watched the damn thing with that kind of describes what the new predator, the predator in that, what his spiel is. So I probably gave away most of the movie to myself like a dumbass, but I'll still watch it.
Well, it's a predator loose
Yeah,
against Native American Indians. What can
I
possibly
like the
go?
I like the last one. See, I think I'm probably odd man out on this, and I'd have to watch it again to see if I really dug it. But I like the last one with Brody and whatever. That one was like probably not most people's thing, but I kind of dug it.
Predators.
Yeah,
I
I dug
actually, I
that.
actually looked. There was something on the news about the top, the like number 7 to number 1, and Predators is number 3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I haven't seen Predators. The last one I watched was AVP. I think it might have been Requiem. I'm not
Oh,
sure,
see, I didn't.
but you
They were
know,
losing me on AVP. I tried. I was like, oh God, you're really losing the plot on this. But yeah, if you haven't seen Predators, then I suggest watching that one because it has its quirks or whatever. But I dig the actor in that one too. He pulled off it was a cool character. There's some cool stuff in there.
in the list, number 1 was Predator, number 2 was
Yeah,
Prey, number 3 was Predators, number 4
yeah.
was AVP,
Okay,
the first one. Number 5 was Predator 2, and then the other two,
okay.
Requiem, and then the Predator was
Yeah,
last. Um, Actually, I think I've seen the last Predator one where you had like a group of people
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
prison or something like that. I've seen that one, and that was just it's a film because I was a huge Predator fan from the original, and I like number 2.
See,
I
I love number
you know
two. I
it
would
might
rank
not.
number two up there for me too.
I would actually put that in third place because I haven't seen
Hmm.
Predators, so I can't rank it. So I'll have to change that. I actually owned a DVD, but I've never watched it. Um, so I'll have to watch Predators.
Yeah, you
But
do
Prey,
on
I
that
really
one.
enjoyed Prey.
Okay, good.
Um, and then what was that? Because I remember the original comic series of Alien versus Predator, and that was really good. I loved that the comic book
Yeah.
series.
Bill
Yeah,
Paxton.
say like
It was Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton as well. Bill Paxton in Fighting Predators.
Yeah. He like wait. I mean,
It's
people have already talked about
it's
this
my
one, but
specialty.
he's the only one who got killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien.
Yeah, it's true. Um, yeah,
He made
no,
it.
you say I that whole idea as well, like in Predator 2, when the Predator's on the tube train on the subway, just
Yeah.
going around like, and everyone's pulling out a gun on it. So if you've got a gun, you die. And it was the only thing that saved that one
Yeah.
Maria Conchita was um, the fact that she was
Baby.
pregnant. So, and yeah, you don't kill a female if they're carrying a newborn. Yeah,
I
because
like the
then there won't be more
Jamaicans.
down the line for him to.
There's there's no killing what
Oh,
can't be
Voodoo King
killed.
Willie is brilliant.
There's no, was it? There's no. I forget. I know.
I
It's like
know
there's
not
no
who,
stopping what can't be stopped.
I
There's no
know
killing what
where
can't be killed.
he is. Other side, spiritual man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Voodoo King Willie and Jamaican Voodoo Posse.
Yeah.
But yeah, even like the Colombians at the start, the
Yeah,
Colombians
dude.
where he's like fucking, yeah, he's got his two machine guns, he's got fucking
Yeah.
cocaine
It was
snot
so. Was
lines.
that 80s? Was that late 80s? It was so 80s or 90s or whatever.
Yeah,
I
it
just
was
remember
like
like the
86,
opening
87.
shootout. Yeah, it's like just the shootout in the street over the top cars. It was like so in late 80s. It was ridiculous. That's why it's always like there's always this gun shells falling everywhere, and like it's like almost like they were trying to John Woo that up, and it always just cracked me up because it was like so over the top. It's like we'll take everything like Jamaican drug lords, and it was kind of like they should have just had ninjas jumping around too.
Thanks to Alex, I look like King Willie. They say you want art. They say you offer me favors. So tell me why, Babylon. Mr. Police.
Yeah.
Voodoo King Willie, like, and that's the whole thing. It's like he's not afraid. Like Danny Glover's gone. He knows there's some shit going on, and then
Hmm.
splash, and he just turns around, sword canes it, goes, yeah, and yeah,
Yeah.
we know how that ends.
Hey, he didn't
Yeah,
go out
no,
like a chump at least.
I love it. Yeah, but yeah, I will watch Predators.
Oh yeah,
No
do it,
killing
do
what
it, because
cannot be
there's some
killed.
cool stuff in there. I think for sure.
Hmm. Well, that's the thing. Adrian Brody was in there, and like, he's normally good. And he was, I think it was like one of his first ones where he's actually like an action hero again.
Yeah, and that's what they did enough with his for me. And there, it's weird. I- I'm kind of like forgiving in shows and stuff for kind of general, and that was good. His actor, I don't know, something about I think I only saw it the once, and I liked there was multiple characters in there, and there was some cool stuff like throughout. But I have to watch it again just to like pick out his character because I don't know something about him. I thought he did really well in that, like because I remember at the end of it thinking, oh gosh, I wish there'd be another Predator with him in it. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch it again just to see kind of why I really dug him.
But they still sort of connected it to, with the old Gary Busey character sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where there was this elite recon sort of team
Hmm.
that got wiped out sort of thing in Guatemala or wherever it was. And it's like we've been trying to track these things, and they only hunt in the hottest um, season sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they're learning from what they've learned, and they're trying to find these fuckers. They see the signs. They send out the FBI, NSA, whoever the hell CIA dudes to go
Yeah.
and try and capture them. With their little freeze guns. That worked out well. It's just, again, it was those little bits and pieces where it's like, they're hunting in heat. Oh, wait a sec, he can change visions. Oh, you're so
Yeah.
fucked. Oh, look, I can see your lights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because he did just do them all in from that.
Straight in the middle of them. But yeah, no. So I love the whole like the Yuja sort of characters and their sort of background. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, we have technology that can travel faster than light and all that sort of shit, and we got to go places and hunt things
Yeah, yeah,
because that's what we do. You know?
yeah. That's how we roll. And you are coming on shortly, Lee. You're gonna stream today.
Oh yes, yes.
Heck
15
yeah.
minutes.
What are you working on?
I have no idea.
No idea. Gonna wing it.
Absolutely.
I can respect that.
Yes. So yeah, I'll have to get some bits and pieces in here and set up and all that. So I'll have to drop out whilst you're
Yeah,
continuing with the
I'm gonna
awesome.
end it. Yeah, we're gonna get going, end it. So, actually, thanks everyone for joining. Andrew, Judge, Alex, everyone else who stopped by. Really appreciate it. Soggy,
Andrew.
I'm going to end up probably posting some of these tomorrow or the next day. I'll put a few last little finishing touches on them and call it good. So appreciate everyone coming by to chat with us. Go by Lee's stream after this for a little extra as he wings it and figures out what he's going to do.
Yeah, yeah,
and
we're back to normal now. I was away, wasn't I, Judge? So back to normal. So 8:30. So I've got to get my stuff sorted out and
yeah,
what have you.
so you get running. We're going to end it now. And everyone, I'll talk to you again soon.